Lakshya Sampurna Swasthika. In this, the 9th year of the Banega Swasth India campaign, we are talking about health for all. That includes India's most vulnerable and marginalised communities, many of whom have little or no access and awareness about their rights, including to health. And this has a huge impact on the quality of their lives. So when we talk about leaving no one behind and health for all, are these communities included? Are they a part of this? Last month, we brought to you the story of the Chenchu Tribe. Today, we're en route to the Amrabad Tiger Reserve in Telangana to meet a particularly vulnerable tribal group, the Chenchu Tribe. Considered one of the earliest settlers, the Chenchu Tribe is a traditional hunter-gatherer community that has lived in the Nallamala Hills for centuries.
We're in Telangana's Amrabad Forest Tiger Reserve, which is the second largest tiger reserve in India. We're going to be meeting the Chenchu tribes, who are one of India's oldest vulnerable primitive tribes. Let's try and understand how different the Chenchus are from who live in the forest to those who moved to the outside villages from the forest. What are the challenges? We need to learn from them how they coexist with nature. So let's go meet them.
The Ambrabad Tiger Reserve is one of the largest tiger reserves in India. It is part of the Nallamala Forest tract, part of the Eastern Ghats chain. It is located in an area that is traditionally inhabited by the Chenchus. History shows that the Chenchu tribals are the first dwellers of the Andhra region, even before the Dravidians, one of India's oldest Aboriginal tribes. Over the years, their traditional relationship with their forests and natural resources has been altered in a serious and perhaps irreversible way.
మాకప్పుడు మా పెద్దలు చాలా మంది గడ్డ తేన ఇది మాత్రమే తీసుకొని తినడం మళ్ళీ ఎవరైనా కొత్తలు వచ్చినా కూడా అడిగిపోయి దొరకక చదువులో కోల్పోయినారు ఆ రోజు నుంచి ఈ రోజు వరకు చూస్తే ఇవాళ కొద్దిగా డౌకరాలు అందుబాటులో ఉంటాయి మాకు అన్నం అంటే దొరకకపోయేది అప్పుడు ఈ రోజులో అన్నం దొరుకుతుంది ఇప్పుడు కాకైతే కొద్దిగా మంచిగానే ఉంటాను.
The Chenchus live in small clusters of 10 to 15 hutments shaped like beehives and constructed with bamboos and leaves called pentas. The involvement and collaboration between different stakeholders is starting to bring change for the Chenchu community. The Chenchus live in harmony with the forest and have often been regarded as its protectors. Their knowledge of the forest has resulted in them working closely with forest departments.
They are tribal people who are like Chenchu family. They've been here for ages and they know how to coexist with the nature. They really are associated with the nature. They understand the importance of it and they also preserve it. Since we have a lot of forest work that happens, it's not compulsory that all the work is done by the forest department. Certain work can be given to the people. So although department can do, we mainly try to see that the people who are living inside the forest will have some amount of work. Like, we involve them in, as you know, there are a lot of tribal people who are our watchers, who are guarding the forest. And we also have a lot of other work like, we have base camps which are only given to the Chenchu tribal people. So these base camps are to, safeguard the place and also to protect the place and see to that nothing goes wrong in the forest. So these type of jobs are given to them. We will never involve outsiders, but we make sure that our tribal people which are near to the place, if suppose we are in Mallapur right now and there's a lot of work that has to be done in this area. So we make sure that the people from this village are engaged and they can do the job for us.
Chenchu tribal people who said he's really happy with the way, the forest authorities as well as foundations, NGOs are working with them inside the forest. And we have with us the DFO of the Amrabad Tiger Reserve, Rohit Gopidi. Thank you so much for speaking with us. What is the role, if I can ask you, that the Chenchu tribe is playing in conserving the forest reserve?
Chenchus have been in this area probably when the forests have begun. And many of us today are in a way migrants to the area. So Chenchus have been in this area, they have the expertise of the area. So any conservation activity or protection activity or any livelihood activity, without them being in the central picture, is bound to fail. And I think they are the most important factor or agents to get to where we want. So you would have to provide them jobs, you would have to create awareness in them, you would have to improve their health outcomes, educational outcomes, make them more employed, educated, make them part of a conservation. Without them, Amrabad Tiger Reserve does not exist. It is that simple.
When we talk about deforestation, environment degradation, climate change, does it make a huge impact on the food security of the Chenchu tribes living inside? Because they do rely on the forest for most of what they eat in their livelihood.
The resources in forests are getting reduced over the time. It could be of many reasons. Climate change is one of the reasons. Over exploitation is one reason. Repeated fire which leads to soil erosion is one reason. And once the quality of the green cover depletes across the time, they are going to face depletion of water availability for the plant. And once people suffer, automatically Tiger Reserve suffers. Is that simple?
So the connection is there.
The welfare of the Tiger Reserve lies in the welfare of the people. Once people are happy, economically self-sufficient and not dependent too much on the forest will continue to survive. The day where people would suffer in their welfare, and that is when they would start depending on the forest, and that is when you would start suffering. So our work is as much as outside in the forest, as much as is inside the forest. In a way to prevent, to create inviolate in a manner where people should stop depending on the forest lesser and lesser. You would have to do a lot of work outside forest for that to happen.
Traditionally, the Chenchu tribal community has relied on the forest for their livelihood and depends on nature. But in many ways, life for the Chenchu revolves around the struggle to survive. So Apollo Foundation and the forest authorities are working together on initiatives that can help improve their lives.
They are the ones that are closest to nature. If we cannot understand and work with them, our barrier with nature will never be fulfilled. So what we are trying to do is to actually create a holistic program that's scalable throughout India for communities to live in partnership with the planet. So I think that's very, very important. Once you give these communities financial stability, build a trust with them, then understand what their needs are and bring wellness into their life, automatically their health improves. So we've seen that giving them a bit of education and empowering them has a huge impact on their health. So that's what we are doing in a nutshell with respect to total health for the Amrabad Forest Reserve. And I'm very, very proud to say that, with this project, we've actually given these women a sense of livelihood, a sense of ownership, and as a byproduct, the tiger population has actually grown in the reserve.
When we come back from a short break, we will meet the Chenchus who are living outside the forest.
This is one of the villages where the Chenchu tribes have come and started living once they left the interiors of the forest. While the people living here are educated, they are more aware, they're learning livelihood skills, but that's also because many stakeholders have held their hands and are helping them to improve their livelihoods. Here, Apollo Foundation, along with the forest authorities and many more NGOs, have taken a step forward to improve the lives of the Chenchus living outside the forest.
We meet Raj Lakshmi, whose family moved out of the forest nearly 2 decades ago to Macharam. Unlike the Chenchus, who live in the forest area, Rajalakshmi is a graduate. A mother of 3 children, Rajalakshmi worked as a daily wage laborer, but after being trained by Apollo Foundation's green skilling program, she earns about 10,000 rupees a month.
ఇంతకుముందు మట్టి పనికి వెళ్ళేదాన్ని. ఇప్పుడు అపోలో ఫౌండేషన్ నుంచి క్యాండిల్ చేయడం ఎలా తయారు చేయాలో నేర్పించిండ్రు. ఇంట్లో ఖాళీ ఉండకుండా పని చేయడం వల్ల అందులో పని చేస్తున్నాను. క్యాండిల్ చేయడం నాకు చాలా ఇష్టంగా ఉంది. అపోలో ఫౌండేషన్లో వర్క్ చేయడం వల్ల డబ్బులు రావడం వల్ల నెలకు హ్యాపీగా ఉంది.
The Green Skilling Initiative was started by the Apollo Foundation in collaboration with the Forest Department to empower women like Rajalakshmi. The Java initiative works with indigenous tribal communities like the Chenchu to create locally sourced products and provide a livelihood.
To make the women more financially independent, we started a green skilling initiative, and all the produce comes from the waste or something around that forest itself. So the women are making products. They've started with a candle. Green skilling initiative is very, very strong to empower these women and these communities.
The Amrabad Tiger Reserve has also established a packaging center at Mananur, where local women, especially Chenchus, make jute bags and eco-friendly cups and plates.
हम इधर जंगल के तरफ रहते हैं, हमको बहुत अच्छा लगता है. हम लोग जंतु जानवरों को भी बहुत प्यार करते हैं. वो सब प्लास्टिक को खा के वो सब मर जाते हैं ना, इसलिए हम प्लास्टिक बंद करने के वास्ते हम ये जूट बैग तैयारी करते हैं 1 साल से. हमको इधर आने के बाद बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. इससे पहले हम खेती बाड़ी काम करते थे, उसमें हमको बहुत दिक्कत लगता था. इसमें आने के बाद बहुत अच्छा लग रही.
Like Rajeshwari, the Chenchu tribe understands their forest well and are committed to protecting their environment. The tribe plays an important role in the management and conservation of the reserve, most significantly through Swasth Sevaks, who are part of the plastic segregation unit.
In this tiger reserve, there is a national highway passing, which from Hyderabad to Srisailam. So many travelers, they discard the plastic. Plastic of various sorts. So there will be a lot of issue for the wildlife, because the wildlife, if at all it feeds on the plastic, like there are high chances of digestion issues, and it also leads to the eventual death of the animals. We have 12 such Swasth Sevaks. So they'll be going along the highway from morning 9 a.m. onwards. So they'll be collecting the plastic of various sorts, and they'll be depositing in the plastic bags which you have which you can see over this. So basically, after collecting the plastic, we segregate into various things. We segregate these into bales, and these bales are shifted for further recycling purpose.
In order to achieve the goal of Lakshya Sampurna Swastika, or health for all, especially for the marginalised, it requires a synchronized effort from key stakeholders working together. The Apollo Foundation, along with forest authorities, has been working closely with the community for 3 years to ensure better health, create employment opportunities, and empower the Chenchu Tribe. Geographical isolation, primitive agriculture practices, socio-cultural taboos, poor health-seeking behavior leads to undernutrition. While health is a basic right for all, this indigenous community, like many others, suffers from severe malnutrition. Osteoporosis and gastritis is common due to poor diet. Malnutrition, skin infections, and addiction patterns are also health challenges within the community. Recent survey reports have shown that more than half of tribal children under 5 years of age in India are stunted and wasted and fail to meet their potential for growth and development. The problem is extremely severe in the children of the Chenchu tribe and is potentially the biggest threat to their development.
poor knowledge and practices of the mothers regarding the infant and young child feeding practices. As per the WHO UNICEF norms, they have to initiate the breastfeeding within 1 hour of the delivery. And same time they have to give exclusive breastfeeding. The children doesn't need even water and any food or even during first 6 months. They have to follow this one, exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. And they have to initiate the complementary feeding once they are completed 6 months of age. These are the very important. Same time they should feed the children the colostrum, the first secretion of breast milk. It has a rich in micronutrients, particularly vitamin A.
Nagama was suffering from anemia. She was always tired but didn't know why, because she had simply never visited a doctor. The camp conducted a battery of tests where her anemia was detected. Now she's being treated with simple iron capsules and feels much better.
నాకు జ్వరం వస్తుంటే నాకు రక్తం తక్కువ ఉండడం వల్ల జ్వరం వచ్చింది. అందుకు మేడం వాళ్ళు అపోలో హాస్పిటల్ నుంచి మేడం వాళ్ళు డాక్టర్లు వచ్చి మాకు మందులు రాసిస్తే మందులు వేసుకుంటున్నందుకు మాకు తక్కువ అయింది. ఇప్పుడు బాగా ఆరోగ్యంగా ఉన్నా, ఇప్పుడు మంచిగా ఉంటున్నాం.
Here majorly people suffering from waterborne disease and scabies and anemic cases. Waterborne disease because they have shortage of water and it's not purified. And anemic cases, patients not taken proper diet, and we supply them medication and they should maintain properly, but they are not reconsulted at clinic or feedback. Actually, I am also Chenchu families, so my family stay outside, forest outside. Inside forest people, they don't have proper education and they don't have knowledge also on it studies. What is the benefit of studies? They don't know. We should conduct awareness programs in tribal areas.
To ensure no one is left behind, Apollo's Total Health Program is trying to fill the gap with regular health camps in the forest as well as satellite clinics in the villages outside the forest reserve. Total Health holds regular sessions on hygiene awareness in the forests. The program has set up a geriatric nutrition center where senior citizens are given hot, nutritious midday meals free of cost. Another important aspect is the provision of menstrual hygiene education and awareness, along with distribution of reusable sanitary napkins.
Even with respect to menstruation, even with respect to hygiene, overall health and well-being has definitely improved here for the women. And they also must take care of their health and their families' health. When we have our camps in different parts of the forest, that's when they come and then they are so enthusiastic about their health. They really, really want to know more. This shows that they are very, very bothered about their health. The government does a lot. I'm very, very impressed with what the government has done. There are also a lot of schemes that these people don't know about. So what our main job with the Arjava warriors, we empower them with education on definitely healthcare, because that's our core competence, but also about how to preserve the planet and hygiene. And we want them to become champions of the community they are in, so that that community can thrive. You know, the community is much stronger. We've seen the recovery rates are better. We have research to show it. And we've seen that the community is more tight-knit and more health-oriented in this way.
According to McKinsey's impact assessment of the Total Health Program in Amrabad, there has been 100% improvement in accessibility for tribals inside core forest areas through health camps. 100% of the people showed an improvement in biophysical markers due to meals provided at Total Health Nutrition Centers. And 60% of people reported reduction in body pain after enrolling in yoga classes. Despite the challenges of the Chenchu community, a distinguishing factor of their tribe is gender equality in terms of rights. Both men and women go out to work and share domestic responsibilities equally. Lingaya and Lingama belong to the Chenchu community and live inside the Amrabad Forest Reserve. From the very beginning, they have shared duties and responsibilities equally in managing their home and children.
ఇప్పుడు మేము చేసేది పని అనేది ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది అంటే, నేనేమో కరువు పని చేస్తాను, నా భార్య ఏమో ఇప్పుడు ఆర్డిటి సంస్థకి నుంచి వాళ్ళు రాగి సంకటి పిండి గుడ్లు అలాంటివి ఇస్తారు. అవి పిల్లలకి మిసల వాళ్ళకి అందరికీ దాత వాళ్ళకి అట్లా పోస్తుంటుంది. వాళ్ళు తాగుతూ ఉంటారు. ఆ పని చేస్తుంది. ఆ పని అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ వచ్చి మళ్ళీ ఆడిటి పనిలో ఇక్కడ గర్భవతులు ఉన్న మిసల వాళ్ళు ఉన్న వాళ్ళంటి వాళ్ళని చెక్లు చేయాలన్నా హాస్పిటల్కి ఎక్కడంటే అక్కడ తీసుకెళ్తుంటుంది. ఇంకా అమ్మ ఆ పని మీద చేస్తే 1000 రూపాయలు ఇస్తారు వాళ్ళు జీతం లేక. ఇంకా మా భార్య ఆ పని చేస్తే మళ్ళీ కరువు పని కూడా చేస్తూనే ఉంటుంది. మేము కరువు పని చేసి అయిపోయిందని అంటే ఏదో ఏమన్నా ఇక్కడ ఏదైనా పనులు ఉంటే కూలి పనులు ఏమైనా ఉంటే కూలి పనులు పోయి కూలి పనులు చేస్తాం. ఇంకా మామూలుగా ఇది కాకుండా అడవులు ఏమన్నా ఉంటే మాకు కావాల్సిన పనులు మా శలక పనులే. మా మొక్కజొన్నలు వేసుకోవాలి, జొన్నలు వేసుకోవాలి, శలకలు శుభ్రం చేసుకోవాలన్నది శలకల కోసం తిరుగుతూ ఉంటాం.
కలిసి ఇద్దరం పని చేస్తాం, మంచిగానే ఉంటాం. ఇద్దరం కలిసిమెలిసి చేస్తాం. ఏ పనైనా ఆపినే ఉంటాం మంచిగా. అప్పుడు తాగేది కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏం తాగడం లేదు. డాక్టర్స్ ఎలా అనుకుంటారు.
Not just in the forest area, members of the Chenchu tribe living in the villages have the same belief of treating their partner as an equal. The Chenchus are leading from the front when it comes to teaching the rest of the country lessons in gender equality and women empowerment. Synchronized efforts from key stakeholders working on the ground, like we've seen for the Chenchu community, can help India move towards the ultimate aim of Lakshya Sampurna Swastika. In our next episode, we look at another such initiative that is bringing healthcare to India's most vulnerable and marginalized communities.